PHI 209. You're welcome to study session 7, Philosophy and Other Disciplines. In this study session, we will examine the relationship that philosophy has with other disciplines. Specifically, we will explore how philosophy relates to science and religion. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Appraise the role philosophy plays in science. 2. Explain the relationship between philosophy and religion. Philosophy and science. The connection between science and philosophy has endured for thousands of years. At one time, it was commonly held that philosophy was the science of sciences, their supreme ruler. What we are simply saying is that philosophy is the parent of all disciplines. Before the 16th and 19th centuries, all scientific knowledge was within the ambit of philosophy. Science, or natural philosophy as it was called, then was formerly an aspect of philosophy until the Renaissance, when the enormous scientific knowledge produced and facilitated the affirmation of science's own autonomy and identify as distinct from the philosophy. There was literally no line at all between philosophy and science. Hence, philosophy encapsulates all disciplines before its fragmentation. One of the commonest pointers to this is reflected in the title of the highest academic degree offered at universities, the PhD or Doctor of Philosophy. More concretely, pre-Socrates philosophers and Ionians are regarded as precursors of science based on their curiosity, the desire for knowledge, and their attendant theories. Thales of Miletus, often regarded in some quarters as the father of philosophy, was the first to identify water as the primary substance of the universe. Anaximander, on the other hand, says it is the unlimited or the indeterminate boundless, while for Anaximenes it is air. Anaxagoras of Clazomenia believed that life contains an infinite number of small particles. He described how unity in nature came from the force of reason. In addition, Empedocles of Agragas introduced us to the four elements of fire, earth, water, and air. According to him, the combination and separation of the elements in his repeated version described how life, as well as countries, were born, grew, developed, decayed, and died. These philosophers, in an attempt to know and understand the universe, inadvertently gave birth to what we now know as philosophy, hence science as well. Some of the questions they inquire into were on subjects of physics, mathematics, astronomy, biology, and so on. Till date, the Ionian thinkers are regarded as Greek philosophers, scientists, and the precursors of science. Thales, for example, was credited with the prediction of the eclipse of 585 BC. Anaximander is said to have invented a sundial, a star chart, the first map of the world, and an indoor clock. He is also known to have made an ingenious guess as to the origin of man by saying that man has its origin from animals of another species. Anaximenes, however, performed an experiment. He found out that by blowing air on one's hand with lips pursed will make the air feel cold, while blowing with an open mouth will make the air hot. From this, he deduced the link between density and temperature. He was also the first scientist that provided an explanation for the occurrence of rainbow. In his finding, rainbow is the result of sun's ray falling on the thick cloud, which they cannot penetrate. From the foregoing, these philosophers can be said to have engaged in science because they employed the tool of reason, observation, and experimentation, steps in the scientific method, in their search for the ultimate and primary cause of the material world. The bulk of what is called modern science today has its roots in the works of these philosophers, cum scientists. This is probably the reason why even till today, no astronomer, geography, physicist, historian, worth its salt can resist paying homage to the Ionian philosophers. Also, note that great and renowned scientists such as Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Galileo, to mention but a few, were originally philosophers. So the connection between philosophy and science is mutual and characterized by their ever-deepening interaction. Philosophy and religion. I want to believe that people would have challenged your belief in God when they learn that you are studying philosophy. But as you may have been aware, this notion about philosophy and religion is grossly mistaken. However, the purposes of both are opposed. A philosopher always employs a critical spirit on issues or ideas. A religionist, however, is not usually critical on issues, especially those that border on his religion. For him, reason is basically to be used to interpret and defend the dogma gotten from sources whose authority and truth is derived from faith or divine revelations. On the other hand, a good philosopher would begin his investigation as much as possible from the position of intellectual neutrality, so as to be able to interrogate its subject critically. Knowledge in religion is primarily to buttress the divine injunction and not to question the assumption behind such command. In philosophy, however, every assumption is subjected to critical scrutiny. Knowledge is also sought for its own sake. Philosophy also questions the assumption of religion. Study session summary. In this study session, we captured some of the reasons why philosophy is so important in the history of education and the development of other fields of study. We noted that both philosophy and science, and philosophy and religion, are not diametrically opposed, as it is sometimes portrayed. We have now come to the end of study session 7, end of PHI 209. Thanks for listening.